All right, everyone, welcome back to the Spotlight. We're back for the destruction of Manchester United by Brighton today. Well, yesterday now. I mean, what can be said? We've said it all before. 4-0 away to Brighton. I don't know what to say about it, really. We used to get animated, completely think, Jesus, what is going on? You can't believe it. But now these kind of results are just expected. Maybe it wasn't so expected with this team that was out, with none of the players we mentioned in the preview, Maguire's, Rashford's, Lingard's, in the team. But let's bear in mind at 1-0 before we changed the game and shape at half time, it was only 1-0. You've still got a chance at 1-0. But I just want to say this: just Brighton, if we was doing a league based on home form only, they would be third bottom. A quarter of all of Brighton's home goals have been scored against Man United today. They've barely scored a goal at home all season. United roll up, they bang 4 against them, and 4, it could have been 6 or 7 easily. I mean, I don't know where to start with this game. I mean, first half were completely dominated. I really, really, really rate Graham Potter. I think if he wasn't in the Premier League at Brighton and the focus, and we all of us English fans didn't know about the Premier League so much, I think there'd be a lot of teams after Potter. If he was the Ajax manager, if he was in charge of someone in Europe, everyone would be raving about him. If he was in Germany, Spain, Italy, even Austria or Holland or wherever, people will be raving about Potter. Look at the way he gets that team to press, to play. There's a reason why Pep Guardiola says he's the best English manager in the Premier League, because he is by a mile. He's one of the best coaches in the Premier League, full stop, in my opinion. The budget Brighton have, if they had a top quality striker, they'd be tearing teams apart with the way they play. Basuma is different class to anything we've got. Completely and utterly on another level to McTominay and Fred. You got Caicedo today playing in their midfield. What did it cost them? £4 million. He's a Man United fan. We scouted him for ages and we didn't even pay £4 million for him. He's running Brighton's midfield with Basuma. You know, the decisions that are made at Man United over the last, well, it's obviously over the last 10 years, but over the last couple of years, while Solskjaer's been, and obviously while Ralph's been here, and not Ralph Rangnick has to take some blame for this today, because what I'm going to talk about is first half, yes, we're still being dominated all over the place, but it's 1-0. Matic is playing in the midfield. He's at least calm on the ball. He gets hold of the ball, never panics. He's strong. He makes the right passes. It happened a few times in the game today. I can remember a moment where the ball come into his feet. It looks like he's going to get tackled. He goes to go one way, turns the other, goes back the other way and plays out. You just do not get that composure from McTominay and Fred. They either lose the ball because they're tackled, or they'll make a poor pass and give it away. They cannot do that kind of play on the ball like Matic can. And to take Matic off at half-time today, I know we're losing and he's obviously thinking we need to get up the pitch. And you bring Fred on. But I think we probably started in a bit of a 4-3-3. We clearly went to a 4-2-2-2 second half, and it just doesn't work. I think it's been proven now that 4-2-2-2 doesn't work in the Prem. At least, well, no formation works with these players, but I guess it's not going to work even more with the players we have. That 4-2-2-2 formation, it just hasn't worked for Rangnick. And he went away from it in the first place for a reason. He's gone back to it today when we're 1 down to try and recover the game, and we've ended up getting slapped. Because probably for the first 20 minutes of that second half, they could have scored 5 or 6. They absolutely tore us a new one. I mean, the goals, the first goal, Tellez, terrible header out, falls to Caicedo, or he gets it and comes back to Caicedo and he shoots. De Gea's, he don't even hit it that well, but it's a grass cutter, innit? It's one of them, it goes in the corner. There's not a lot you can do about it from a keeper's point of view. Then they've got a punt off the top. Varane misreads it. And I'm a fan of Varane. I think he normally shores us up, and you don't see us get beat like this with Varane in the team. But even he couldn't do anything about it today, and he looked pretty sloppy. Missing the ball, Sunday League style, from a long punt up front. Welbeck should have scored. Then you've got the second goal, which I think it comes in from a throw-in, doesn't it? Or a little dink into the box on a Tellez goes to win a header and misses it, and then somehow the cross goes right across our entire 18-yard box. He's pulled back, and that Cucurella just come. And I think I think we moan that the wing backs are not tracking the full backs, and I think this was evident in the second half when we went to this 4-2-2-2. That at least in a 4-3-3, your two centre mids will sit and then the wing backs get back. But in a 4-2-2-2, the wing backs aren't there to track. So if they're going to overlap, you've got to pull out a midfielder to do that, or the second bank of two's got to come all the way back out of position, out the middle of the park to deal with it. And in the modern game in the Premier League with these attacking fullbacks, when you're playing so narrow in the 2-2-2, there's no one to deal with that overlap. And again, the Cucurella for the second goal, he's unmarked, it gets pulled back to him, he smashes it in. The third goal, I think that's the one where in midfield we just don't pick anyone up. I've got it up here, let me have a quick watch. So it's the one where Gross goes round Varane into it and tucks it in the bottom corner. But if I run it back here, it's a diagonal ball out to Cucurella again. Played inside to, I think it's Trossard. Obviously, completely unmarked again, a 2-on-1 against Delo. McTominay tries to come over to deal with it. He can't. It's squared in a square pass in our own box to Gross, who takes a good first touch and then just skips round Varane and tucks it away. I mean, he's run. So what's happened on this goal for me personally is Delo's double teamed on the right hand side. McTominay's had to come and step out to try and help him. He can't get there. It's squared into the edge of the area where Gross has ran from deep, who McTominay would have been marking, but he's had to come across because there's no one to help Delo. So I won't blame McTominay in this instance, but then where's the other midfielder tracking the runner? Where's Fred? He's not even in the shot I'm looking at when Gross picks it up in the box. Yes, Lindelof, you can see McTominay's going across, but Lindelof's, I don't think there's anything he can do there. He could maybe step out, but then he's stepping out of his line. To me, the midfielder's got to get back, and then he takes a good touch and puts it in the net. It's just poor, well, I mean, team shape and overall effort and will to track runners. It's the absolute basics. It's people on a Sunday morning would shout at the midfield for that. And you've got to get back as a midfielder. You cannot be stuck around here, stood up, not in picture when the other team's in your frigging box, can you? So then the fourth goal, it's out with Cucurella again, the sat back. Squared. McTominay can't get there. He tries a second press, can't get there. Lindelof comes out to press the man. He's now sprinting back. Ball through. Welbeck chips it. And people are blaming Dalot for keeping him on side. I don't think it'd make any difference. I mean, you've got Lindelof stepped out. He's out of position. Dalot's tucking in. Then Varane has got a man behind him that he's not aware of who runs off him. It's Welbeck. Welbeck runs off Varane. He's got no idea that he's behind him. Varane tries to stretch for it, can't get there. Welbeck, cute finish. Dalot does his best to get it off the line. Again, it's absolutely awful from start to finish, this goal if you watch it back. McTominay trotting about, doing his little bunny hops in midfield again. You can watch it here. So let's see how many times he bunny hops. 1. Goes again for the second one, doesn't sprint, it's a jog. 2, he's got to go back again. It's played, he's jogging again. 3, and McTominay tippy-tapping around in there has meant Lindelof has come 10, 15 yards out of position, sprinted there, may I add, to try and engage some contact. And I don't want to keep going on about McTominay, but he is not good enough. I do not care about his passion anymore. I don't care about his love for the club. He's just not good enough, is he? I've said it in how many videos have I said it now? He's Matty Longstaff. He's a Cleverley. He's a Nick Powell. They're all playing in the frigging Championship or whatever, and that is where he belongs. You're telling me now, if we sold McTominay this summer to Newcastle, tell me right now, would he be knocking Joe Linton and Shelvey out of their team? He wouldn't. No chance. Not a chance. So why is he every single game playing 90 minutes for Man United? When you're taking Matic off after 45 minutes, he's got 2 games of his United career to go. We've got no cup games to play, 1 game a week. Just leave Matic on the pitch, man. I think Ranić has to take some blame for the performance today, especially in the second half. It was absolutely awful, and tactics and substitution-wise, it was diabolical as well. I know I said I wasn't going to get into a rant, but I just have. It was pathetic. 4-0 away to Brighton. I feel sorry for the fans that go down there. I mean, it is a trek to Brighton to go watch that. They should be refunded, in my opinion. United should be giving them summits for that. I don't know what any United fan would want from this team at the minute apart from a refund, because it is pathetic. Or not even the club. The club shouldn't even give them a refund. The players should give them a refund. For every one of them travelling fans to Brighton today, the players should cough it out of their own pockets and give them something back, because it's absolutely pathetic. I'm not going to go into this individually apart from have a rant at McTominay again, because he's absolutely shocking. Again, I'll go into his passing stats for the game. So bear in mind, McTominay played for a full 90 minutes. He made 44 passes, right? So it's about 10 better than he usually does. But bear in mind, that's over 90 minutes. Matic played for 45 minutes and made 39 passes. Fred, come on. He made 42 passes in 45 minutes. What is McTominay doing in this team? Can anyone please explain to me in the comments what Scott McTominay is bringing to this team at the minute? What, that he's tall and he can win a few headers? But every time the ball's on the floor, he's hopping about and bypassed, and if the ball ever gets to his feet, he don't know what to do with it. He's out of position. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, the whole midfield is terrible, to be honest. Even with Matic in there, it's no good. But McTominay is a constant problem in that team. And I know Maguire has been hammered all season, and rightly so. But McTominay is as bad, if not worse. And then you've got the likes of Rashford up front. For me, you've got... I mean, I just don't think Telles is good enough. He seems to have one okay game, and then a game where he's awful. He was awful again today. Telles. He's got to go, in my opinion. I had hopes for Telles that we'd get playing this front-footed football and we'd get him on the ball and be able to whip crosses in. But at the moment, we're that bad at going forward, you've got to have someone who can defend, and he can't. Dalot, I'm 50-50 on. Could he... If we can turn into attacking team, I think Dalot has potential. But at the minute in this team, he looks awful. Lindelof is a player who I think is a decent backup centre-back. Like, I'm not going to go in on Lindelof. He is what he is. I think he's a steady, half-decent sub-centre-back. Varane is a quality player, but injury-prone. And Maguire's Maguire. The back four needs some serious work. And you all know my views personally on Luke Shaw. I don't mind Luke Shaw, but he's been there for 7 years on a lot of money. He's inconsistent as any of the rest of them. For me, he's obviously probably better than Telles, but give him a new contract for 3-5 years or whatever, Luke Shaw. Not for me. If he's up for a new contract and we have to give him because we've got that many other areas to fix and Shaw can do a job at left back, I'd give him a rolling year contract or 2 years at the most. Because if we want to turn into a team that are playing like Liverpool and City, Shaw is not a player to be doing it. We need a new left back. But we really, really need to sort that midfield out in the summer. Because for the left back and right back to be able to get up the pitch, you have to be reliant on your midfield to be able to keep the ball and get you out. Because how can the left and right back get into their final third of the pitch when you've got McTominay and Fred who couldn't hit a barn door with a 10-yard pass? Never mind float a 40-yard pass out to Dalot to whip a ball in. There was a stat apparently yesterday from the Liverpool-Tottenham game. And I know Liverpool only drew, but they put 47 crosses in the box. I think 20 odd were from Trent Alexander-Arnold. How many crosses do our fullbacks put in a box? I bet it's less than 10 a game for both of them. And you've got Trent putting 20 plus on his own. But to be able to play like that, to get your fullbacks that high up the pitch, you've got to have quick centre-backs who can get out and get back, and you've got to have a midfielder who are dominant. I don't think you can't fully judge Telles and Dalot until we become a dominant midfield team and you see what they can really offer going forward. Because we know they're not defensive fullbacks. The same as Trent isn't a defensive fullback. But they have the midfield and the centre-backs to do his defensive work for him. And at the minute, we're so far away in midfield. I mean, we'd probably be better off sacrificing buying a forward and a centre-back and buying 3 midfielders, in my opinion. Obviously, Matic is going. One of McTominay and Fred I'd just sell because there's no point keeping them both. I don't care which one it is, I'd get rid of one of them. But we're obviously going to get Donny back. And then you need to buy at least 2. But anyway, I've been ranting again for 20 minutes. Pathetic. The worst Premier League team Man United have ever had, whether they beat Palace or not. And they probably won't beat Palace, because Palace are a solid team under Vieira as well. And that's away down in London. And also, I feel sorry for the fans going all the way down to Crystal Palace as well. Brighton and Palace, the last 2 games of the season away. In this current form and this season, what an awful end to the season for the match-going fans. United should do something to reimburse them fans, in my opinion, because it is just absolutely disgusting what is going on at the moment. But yeah, worst ever Premier League Man United team. That's on these players' heads, in my opinion. They were pathetic for the first 6 months of the season under Solskjaer, and I have no qualms about Solskjaer being sacked. I wanted him gone a long time before he actually did. In my opinion, his last straw was losing to Villarreal in the Europa League final. He should have been gone then. Never mind getting slapped up by City, Liverpool, Leicester and Watford. He should have been way gone. Way gone. Ralph Rangnick at the time, I thought was a good appointment. I thought he'd steady the ship, he'd get something out of him. He clearly hasn't. Obviously, I don't think management is for him. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that he's been a good manager. I don't think he has. But like everyone else says, I think he has done some good around that club. He's clearly been speaking to the board. He's outed the players. He's outed the rats within the squad. He's said exactly what he's needed. He's clearly helped get Ten Hag from Ajax. And the job is there now with him, Ten Hag and Ten Hag's staff and the board to do a massive overhaul this summer. And obviously it's a short summer as well with the World Cup. So deals are probably going to be hard to be done. But hopefully we won't just be after this big one signing and we can sneak a few deals in through the back door through these lower clubs, because at the minute we don't need one. Even if we bought Haaland, it wouldn't make any difference to this team. We need 5 or 6 players. I'd go out and buy 5 or 6 players for 20 or 30 million and completely change that squad. Completely change it. Anyway, I'm off to a kids' football tournament now, where there'll be more passion and more organisation than there is at Manchester United. And on that note, I will see you on the next one.